Ever feel completely overwhelmed at work? Yeah, you're not alone. But what if the answer isn't some new productivity app or management trend? What if it's actually 2,000 years old? In this explainer, we're going to dive into some seriously ancient wisdom to solve our most modern work problems.
I mean, does this feel familiar? Being pulled in a million directions at once? That constant pressure to perform? That feeling of being stuck? It's pretty much the daily reality for so many of us, right?
Well, here's a wild thought. What if the best advice for what you're facing right now doesn't come from the latest business bestseller, but from ancient philosophers, strategists, and thinkers who dealt with chaos on a whole different level? Okay, so let's get practical. We're going to dig into 3 incredible sources of wisdom. We're talking Stoic philosophy, ancient Indian statecraft, and Greek critical thinking to build a powerful toolkit for the modern workplace. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here. It's the first pillar of wisdom, your own mindset. Because let's be real, before you can manage a team or a massive project, you have to be able to manage yourself. So the Stoic philosopher Epictetus laid out this brilliant, simple idea. Our main job in life is to separate what we can control from what we can't. Think about a huge project at work. You can't really control the final outcome or what your boss thinks or if the client will love it. But what you can control 100% is your effort, your attitude, and the actions you take every single day. The Stoics would say, hey, stop wasting all your energy on that second calm and go all in on the first. It's a total game changer. And you know, this idea of focusing on the action, not the result, it's not just a Greek thing. The Bhagavad Gita, an ancient Indian scripture, teaches something very similar. It says, do your work with total excellence, but do it for its own sake, not for the praise or the bonus or the promotion. The real deep satisfaction comes from mastering your craft, completely separate from any external rewards. Now, this might sound a little intense, but the Stoics saw this as the ultimate productivity hack. They called it memento mori, which just means remember you must die. The point isn't to be morbid or create fear. It's about creating crystal clear focus. If you realize your time is finite, you just stop wasting it on things that truly don't matter. And check this out, a similar idea from the ancient Indian strategist Kautilya. He pointed to these 6 emotional devils that get in the way of making good decisions. Now, things like anger and greed, okay, those make sense. But he even includes overjoy. Why? Because a leader who's totally euphoric can become reckless and completely miss potential risks. To be a good leader, you have to conquer these emotions first. So once you start getting a handle on your inner world, the next step is to sharpen how you think. This is how you stop just reacting to things and start becoming a true strategist. You've probably heard of this one. Instead of just accepting a problem at face value, the Socratic method makes you dig way deeper. It's really just a disciplined way of asking probing questions. The goal isn't to argue, but to work together to uncover the truth and find the root cause of a problem, instead of just slapping a bandage on the symptoms. Kautilya also gave us this incredible framework for success. Just look at this structure. It's like a pyramid built from the ground up. The foundation, the absolute base of everything, is discipline and control over your senses. Only then do you build up to having the right people, then a solid organization, then righteousness, and finally, way up at the top, you find happiness. For Kautilya, success wasn't just about money. It was this stable structure built on a foundation of ethics and self-mastery. And this is just amazing. It shows you just how timeless these ideas are. On the left, you've got Kautilya's objectives for a king from over 2,000 years ago, and on the right, the principles from modern management guru Peter Drucker. The language is a bit different, sure, but the core strategy, it's almost identical. That's just wild. Okay, so we've talked about mindset and we've talked about strategy. Now for the big question. How does all this come together when it comes to modern leadership and actually managing a team? Being a Socratic leader isn't about having all the answers. It's actually about asking the right questions so your team can find the answers themselves. See, instead of just telling people what to do, you guide their thinking. This empowers your team. It stops everyone from just agreeing with each other, groupthink, and it leads to way more creative and solid solutions in the end. And speaking of structure, you have to see this. This is Kautilya's actual blueprint for an organization. It's this super sophisticated hierarchy with a clear chain of command from the king all the way down. This isn't just theory. It's a practical guide for running a massive, complex state, or what we'd basically call a corporation today. So how do you pick the right people to put into that structure? Well, Kautilya had a hiring checklist for that. And notice what's on it. Concentration, character, thinking ability, communication skills, and vigilance. It's not about technical skills. Those can be taught. It's all about the fundamental qualities of a person's mind and their integrity. I mean, these are the exact same traits that are the bedrock of great leadership today. All right, we have covered a lot of ground, from Roman emperors to ancient Indian strategists. Now, let's bring it all together into a toolkit you can actually start using, like right now. So here it is, your Stoic toolkit, 7 practical exercises. These aren't just abstract ideas. They are things you can do every single day to build mental resilience when things get chaotic. You can start with number 1, the dichotomy of control, literally today, just by asking yourself, hey, is this something I actually have control over? It's that simple. And that's really the key takeaway here. Whether we're looking at Greek Stoicism, the Indian Bhagavad Gita, or Kautilya's political strategy, they all point to the same fundamental truths. To really succeed in our crazy, complex world, you need to master yourself first, think critically, and then act with clear intention. So the only question left for you is, which one of these powerful ancient ideas are you going to put into practice today?